more of an exact to the millimeter type. You create, it's a piece of art to you. You're not just trying to jam the refrigerator in the hole, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. And that's sometimes a character flaw because, time is money. So, a lot
My
of times
wife would
for
say
me,
mine is a character flaw because I'm not lying. I didn't just make that up. There is a crooked countertop in my house covered up by bread and fruit next to the refrigerator because I took a saber saw down the side of it.
Blaze Rosser.
JJ,
How
you know
you
what
doing,
day
man?
it is?
Thursday.
No, like and trust Thursday. Let's highlight somebody. Who we got today?
Well, we've got Thad Conkey. Conkey, I pronounced it right. Thad Conkey. And Thad, this is Blaze here, in case you've never met Blaze.
I don't think I've ever met that.
Well, you know what, Blaze? You may not have met Thad, but you've met some of his work.
I have.
Remember that house we were in the other day?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. That kitchen was absolutely beautiful. So, what's the name of your company?
The Handy Arborist.
What's an arborist?
That is a tree expert.
That's what I thought. Okay, I'm just making sure.
But does that mean you work with actual trees, or does that mean you work with wood?
Well, it has come to mean more that I work with wood. When I first started out my business, I thought since I have an arborist certification, I could make that part of my business, looking at trees for people, doing assessments and things. But I don't find that I do much of that. I mostly work with trees after they get cut down and turn them into useful things.
So, isn't an arborist is like to save trees and that kind of stuff? And here you're working with them after they're already cut down. I love it.
Well, he saves them into like forms of cabinets.
He preserves them. Once they're down, he turns them into something multi-purposes. Then, so that's awesome.
I haven't seen a project yet that Thad turned around and said, "No, I can't handle that." He figures it out and he does it. The guy's like an artist.
Well, thank you.
So let's talk about what it is that you do. The name of your company it doesn't describe exactly what it is that you do. It sounds like you're a jack of all trades when it comes to working with wood.
Yes, that is a fitting description. That my business title doesn't really describe what I do. So what I mostly end up doing is home repairs and improvements, from building an entire library, which I'm doing now, to making doors not stick. So I cover a wide spectrum, just based on what people need.
I've used them for drywall or patchwork. Okay. I've used them when we had a very expensive window at a listing that needed some work. He was able to get in there and recreate the wood around the window. I've seen him blow out kitchens, like the Cole's kitchen. I mean, just does some amazing work.
Okay, so if I've got something in my house that's a wood project that was built in the 1800s or something like that, and something chipped or broke out of it, that's like a challenge you'd enjoy, is what I'm hearing. Trying to repair something that has already been built or creating something from scratch.
Yes, yep, I have done that stuff. Yeah, fixing old furniture and making new furniture look like old furniture. Yep.
I saw recently a dresser that you did. Did you strip that down and redo that whole thing? What did you do with that dresser?
So with that one, I did not actually sand it down to bare wood. Mostly it was repair some structural damage and then kind of fix the existing stain, kind of top coat it, and then make the new pieces match the old. So it wasn't a total down to bare bones and build back up. It was just replacing the broken elements and then blending everything in together.
So when did you find out you were real handy when it comes to wood?
My father, whose shop I am in right now, because it's larger than mine. Has been doing woodworking since before I was born. So I sort of grew up in a wood shop, and have been doing it all my life, basically, from, knee high, just sweeping up dad's sawdust to now I make my own.
Okay. What's your favorite type of project?
I like making things for myself because I can make them look like whatever I want. And my imagination is my only limit. So I like doing things for myself, which means I like doing things for other people because then I have money to do things for myself. So, it's a win-win.
Right. Win-win's important. Blaze, questions?
Well, in my world, I am one of those guys, like if the fridge doesn't fit, the countertop's a little too long, I'll pull out the saber saw and try to cut down there. I'm going to guess that's not the approach that you take. You're more of an exact to the millimeter type. You create, it's a piece of art to you. You're not just trying to jam the refrigerator in the hole is what I'm
hearing. Yes. And that's sometimes a character flaw because time is money. So
my wife would say mine is a character flaw because I'm not lying. I didn't just make that up. There is a crooked countertop in my house covered up by bread and fruit next to the refrigerator because I took a saber saw down the side of it. But the fridge fits.
Well, I mean, I can't live with some things like that. So it causes problems for me. But if you're happy with that, then more power to you. Just, rip it with a circular saw. It's all good.
I'll give you some good examples of where Thad came top of mind. And I was out with a client and he was looking at some flip properties, some beautiful properties that had beautiful wood, but they'd been beat up. And there was a lot of built-ins, and built-ins were missing some of the fronts, and some of the stairwells were missing some of the spindles. And I said, that kind of stuff you don't have to worry about. I've got the perfect guy for that. And he could match that up and make it look just like the other pieces. And that's where it's incredible.
So broken cabinet drawers, spindles on staircases, all that stuff that people tend to just get rid of nowadays or paint white. That's like that hurts your heart, I'm sure. You want to preserve that woodwork and show people what that's all about. Am I wrong?
I do like to do that, but I understand that that's not always practical. So if you want me to just paint it white, and I can do that. Okay. Everybody comes from a different place. So, like I said, I like doing stuff for myself because I can do it however I want, but I will do whatever anybody else wants. If you want to paint some 100-year-old mahogany, I'll cry while I'm doing it, but I'll do
it. Great answer.
Thad, this last year for you has been quite the learning process on projects, hasn't it?
Yeah, I pretty much haven't done the same thing more than, I think, twice, and that's been two things. So pretty much everything I've done has been a one-off for the whole last year. So
right,
yeah, lots of trial and error.
Well, that's what makes you a craftsman and not just a handyman. You are a true craftsman, at least the work I've seen.
Well, that's what I aspire to anyway.
Blaze, in fact, there's a place in that room that you're in right now that Thad fixed, and you probably won't even know where it is.
Probably not if Thad did it. If you did it, look at that clock. Look at that clock back there. That clock is right twice a day.
Twice a
day. That's it.
But you know what? I haven't wound it in 15 years. It's been right twice a day. So I'm good with that. All right. Thad, anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we introduced me pretty well, and that's about most of it. I like to do things, like to do them well, and yeah.
You take pride in your work. You really do. So, and that's important. And for those of you guys out there watching and listening, if you have something you need, either Blaze or myself, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with Thad, and he'll look at the project and he'll tell you what he can do. He's an honest, does just wonderful work. So, all right, guys.
Thanks, Thad. If anybody needs
thanks for having me.
If anybody needs some woodworking done or just some stuff around the house that needs fixed, that is a great source of a person that you could reach out to, either me or Frank, and we'll get you in touch with them. So that's another episode of Know, Like, and Trust Thursday. Thank you, Thad.
Bye, guys.